Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream, and today is August the 17th. I'm going to do your Just for Today in a meditation. So grab your meditation book and follow along. You can reach me at recoveryofhope21 at gmail.com. I'm brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our Hood Recovery Services. Hood is an acronym, HOOD, that stands for Hope Offered on Demand. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this meditation. Tell the truth. A symptom of our disease is alienation, and honest sharing will free us to recover. Basic text, page 83. Truth connects us to life while fear, isolation, and dishonesty alienate us from it. As using addicts, we hid as much of the truth about ourselves from as much of the world as we possibly could. Our fear kept us from opening ourselves up to those around us, providing protection against what others might do if we appeared vulnerable. But our fear also kept us from connecting with the world. We lived like alien beings on our own planet, always alone and getting lonelier by the minute. The 12 steps in the Fellowship of Recovering Addicts give people like us a place where we can feel free, feel safe telling the truth about ourselves. We are able to honestly admit our frustrating, humbling powerlessness over addiction because we meet many others who've been in the same situation. We're safe among them. And we keep on telling more of the truth about ourselves as we continue to work the steps. The more we do, the more truly connected we feel to the world around us. Today, we need not hide from the reality of our relations with the people, places, and things in our lives. We accept those relationships just as they are, and we own our part in them. We take time every day to ask, am I telling the truth about myself? Each time we do this, we draw that much further away from the alienation that characterizes our addiction and that much closer to the freedom recovery can bring us. Just for today, truth is my connection to reality. Today, I will take time to ask myself, am I telling the truth? That's a deep one. That's a deep one. Just from the perspective, I think that um, part of the reason why an addict would not tell the truth is because they're not sure that the people that they're dealing with will accept them or will accept the truth. Or they just may be very tenderhearted people that don't want to hurt other people. And so without really realizing it, they start to mold the truth in a way that they believe is more palatable for the people they need to share it with. And sometimes that means lying by omission, right? That means leaving something out so that they don't know the exact gory details about the situation, right? And they'll be more likely to support us, finance us, help us, believe us, give us a couch to sleep on, right? And how many? I mean, we all have experienced this, and alienation is a part of our disease, right? So we do things to separate ourselves away from other people. It's not even isolation, right? Necessarily. We do things to separate ourselves from other people because they're not going to tolerate it. And so this is more like alienation. And then we come into this wonderful fellowship and we have to figure out now, what does powerlessness actually mean? Like, am I powerless over everything? Or am I just powerless over the disease of addiction? Or am I powerless over the things that make me unmanageable? What is it that I'm actually less powerful about, right? Or powerless about. And so we have to begin to wonder or begin to meditate on that in a way that makes sense for us, right? Because really, when it comes down to it, you are the one that has to take your first step. You're the one that has to take your second and third step. So in the beginning, when you're taking your first step, you need to come to terms with what does powerlessness mean to you? And that's why that's a good question in that step work. But ultimately, what it's going to come down to, mostly every addict that has surrendered to the disease of addiction, right, admitted that they were powerless over the disease of addiction and that their lives had become what? Unmanageable. Everyone that actually does that in a thorough manner, they don't ever rethink like later, now I have some power over it. Right? If you ever go from doing a thorough first step into now you think you have some power over the disease of addiction, right? And because your life had become manageable to some degree, that you think you have some power over the disease of addiction, the only actual power you ever have over the disease of addiction is the one before you pick it up. That power of thought that you have to refrain from picking up the first one is the most power you will ever be able to have. Because once you pick up the first one, all bets are off. All right, so people that work a thorough first step, they don't generally have a tendency to go back. If they ever go back, it's because there was something that got skewed, right? Their perception of their reality in some kind of way got skewed, right? And they thought, well, I'm more manageable now. I've attained a few. Maybe I can successfully sociably use. And maybe their friends did it, but they were not able to do it, right? So what does this have to do with telling the truth about ourselves? The point that I'm making is in the beginning, when we first come to the fellowship, we have a tendency to not tell the truth about ourselves. We just tell a little bit when we're sharing, and then we kind of watch the room to see how people react. And people's reaction absolutely has absolutely nothing. Like we talked about yesterday, there's such a tendency to go into a meeting in a funk and have an attitude, to be judgmental, rolling our eyes, sighing, whispering with our girlfriends, or our, or looking at our videos on Facebook, reels on Facebook. We have a tendency to be very dismissive sometimes in the meeting, especially if we just showing up, right? We're not really trying to participate. Carrying the message to the still suffering addict is not really our purpose. We might be chairing a meeting, but we're not really, we're not really into it. We're not going to make sure the meeting maintains an atmosphere of recovery and be responsible to make sure that it does. No, we're just, it's something that we agreed to and we can't get out of right now. So we continue to do it. Right? So people have a tendency, like I said, to come to meetings and be somewhat judgmental. They shouldn't be, but of course they do. They have bad days. And so when we first come around, we may not even sense, hopefully we sense the love of the fellowship, but we may actually notice the differences, right? We may actually notice all of the negative things instead of all of the positive things. And that wouldn't be a surprise because we're just getting clean. But why is telling the truth about ourselves and learning how to do it from the beginning so important? When you tell the truth about yourself, there's nothing else to lie about. There's nothing else to cover over. There's no more hiding. What is there to, what shame is there in that? Right? When you tell the truth about yourself, it's like, this is who I am. This is my face. This is who I am. And either you accept that or you don't. But even if you don't, it's not going to change the trajectory of my future. It might change yours because that's a spirit of negativity and pessimism and judgmentality that you're dealing with. But when I tell you the truth about who I am, that's why when people later reveal to me their truth, like who they really are, or I find out after a period of time that a person has been lying by omission for a long time, like I start to look at that individual differently. Like one, I guess the first thing I think about is what is it about me that has made them think that they needed to propagate this lie all this time? Like, do I come across that judgmental really? Like, I don't even get it. Or did I get on your back so tough about a situation that you just refuse to even admit if you continue to have problems with? I don't even know, right? But when I find out that that lie has been propagated for a long period of time, I'm like, who are you? Oh my gosh, right? Like, how do we know each other for almost a decade and I'm just finding this out about you. Like, what's going on? And this is affecting your recovery. So every issue that you're bringing to me about your recovery has been founded on a lie because you have not told me the truth about who you are. And it ain't even that serious, right? Like when I find out the truth, what am I going to do about it? But it changes the perspective that I have when I'm giving advice or suggestions, right? So, I mean, it's like when you tell the truth, I dare you today. I dare you. I double dog dare you today to tell the truth about who you are. Because once you bite that bullet, once you do that, the games are on. It's like it's exciting because now the weight is gone. You get your energy back. You're not hiding anymore. And whatever however the people are going to respond to your truth is just their issue. It's not even yours. I invite you to experience the beauty of telling your truth. Hey, listen, I have a wonderful opportunity coming up at an event to do some podcasts, recovery related. If you're going to be in the Southwest Michigan area, please reach out to me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. I would love to entertain you on the podcast. I would love to give you a segment to tell your story and how recovery has affected you. Please reach out to me. I've enjoyed your company, and this one, I'm double dog daring you. Yes, I am. You can tell the world, Mighty Stream double dog dare me today to tell the truth about who I am and to experience the weightlessness and the beauty. Now, like I said, people might respond differently, and you might not be comfortable with all of that. But look at how long you've carried the burden of trying to hide your truth. Let them carry the burden, right? Let them carry the burden of your truth, right? It's like either it doesn't have to hurt anyone, right? It doesn't have to be high stake information. But I'm just saying, like, all this time you've been carrying the weight of hiding it. Let them carry the weight of you revealing it. It's not your business what they think of you. It's not your business. What people think of you and what they say about you is not your business. That is one area we have to, as recovering addicts, remain emotionally clean. Like I can't get into what they think about me. Does it bother me sometimes? Am I concerned sometimes about what people might be saying? Absolutely, I'm human. But if you've been around me if you've been in my presence for 30 seconds, you already know I bring the energy wherever I go. I bring the love, the God, the excitement, the even in negative situations, I bring God into it, right? So I'm like, I'm not concerned about that. It might hit me for a second that someone hates me or rejects me, but I'm just like, it really? Like, how do you hate? bunny rabbits. Hey, I'm very, very soft, cuddly, and loving, right? So if you hate me, I'm not thinking it's a problem with me. I'm thinking it's a problem with you, right? And that don't mean I don't have character defects that I need to work on, but here's my point. Carrying the weight of not telling the truth about myself, keeping secrets about who I actually am, right? Takes your energy, takes your life away, takes your happiness and your joy away. Let them have it. Like this is where I'm at. Like, okay, an example. This is something I've been seeing lately because we're, kind of dealing with um, a loss of my brother-in-law. And so people have a tendency to just drop by. Like they don't make a phone call to the family and say, is there anything you need? I would like to bring. I mean, they want to know what you need and if you need help, right? But they don't do that before they bring it. So a lot of people show up at the doorstep with enough food to feed 100 people. I'm exaggerating, but enough food to feed a lot of people. And this is well prepared food. You can tell they put their heart and their energy into it. But there's no freezer space, there's no refrigerator space, and there's not that many people. It's the family is very small and close knit. It's who's going to eat all this food? Right. And then when they come, they don't come and stop at the front room. They walk all the way through the whole house. And I'm trying to think, there's got to be more like the householder, right? Which would be my sister, should say in some form or fashion, if you have not called first, please go back to your car and call. And please stop at the front room, right? In the living room where we entertain guests, right? How to say that truth, for her to say it right now, probably she wouldn't have the energy, but I have the energy to say it, right? So my goal today, one of my goals, and I've been given the responsibility to make the parameters, the boundaries clear, right? So I'm going to print a bunch of signs, and they're going to really, really show, or people should be able to read where we want them to engage us at, right? And it's not being inconsiderate or ungrateful, it's just being respectful for the family during the time of loss. So what is your thing today? What is your double dog dare in telling the truth to someone that doesn't know your truth? It could be just as simple as telling your daughter, this is my bedroom. These are my hygiene products. This is my makeup table. Don't touch it again. Ever. Do not help yourself to mommy's stuff. Am I clear about that? Right? You're telling your truth could be something as simple as just drawing a more distinct boundary that people understand. Right? So they don't keep stepping on your toes. And when they keep stepping on your toes and you don't acknowledge it, you become frustrated with yourself. You carry the weight of not having told them that that was not okay. Right? So let me know in the comments, or let me know in the Gmail, Recovery of Hope 21 Gmail at gmail.com, what you're going to do different today to tell the truth about who you are. I hope, I kind of went on a rabbit trail there, but I think that I really needed to let you know an example how simple it can actually be. Okay. So I will be talking to you tomorrow. Thanks for listening.